Yep. Alright guys, welcome back to Colin C and Joe P. We are chugging Coors Light right now because we are rolling. Topic of the discussion today is college worth it? We got lots to talk about, a little bit of time, so we're going to come at you with some really awesome points. Hope you like it. Go.
All right, I do want to start this video off real quick. Got my Colton Mertens shirt on. If you didn't buy a Colton Mertens shirt, then fuck you. Honestly, these things were like 45 bucks.
I'm like every penny.
I'm like, what the hell? What's Armin doing with these goddamn shirts? Anyways, thanks for the shirt. All right, we have an awesome topic for you guys today. It is something that we have, I don't know, we were just talking about it for like the last hour back and forth, and
yeah,
we don't even know where we're at.
No, it's
our mind is scrambled.
My hair's all tied up like a pretzel. I got a pretzel in my hand.
Yeah, so basically how this is going to be structured today, we're going to talk about the pros about is college worth it, like going to college, getting your degree, things like that. And then we're going to switch gears, go into the cons, why maybe it's not as beneficial or not as worth it to go. And then we're going to have kind of an open-ended discussion and chit-chat about some points that we kind of need to clean up as well.
We do, and I do want to add to this. This is coming from two people, one who has a doctoral degree and one who has a master's degree. So clearly college at one point in time for us was extremely worth it.
Right.
So now we don't know.
That's just something to be said. Exactly.
Yeah, something to throw out there first.
Okay, so pro tip number one of why we think college is worth it is typically higher education. You're probably going to get some higher pay.
Typically, I'd say that's probably right.
You know, not always the case, but you're probably not going to be able to be a high-level accountant if you never went to accountant school. Or same thing with the doctor. Yep. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, that's just the way it is. They go through these rigorous schools. I was talking to Dr. Mendel earlier today, and he told me about his fellowship and all these things he had to go through.
Right.
That dude had to work his ass off. I mean, it was insane, and now he gets paid for it, and he's one of the best that does it. It's worth it 100% in that realm.
Put your arm up overhead.
What?
All the way. That's some damn good range of motion right there.
Shit.
Good job, Tui.
Thanks, Tui.
Good job, Dr. Mendel. Okay. Next tip, typically if you go to school, if you get this education, if you get this degree, your job, you typically have more stability in your job. You're less likely to just kind of get, lose your job out of the blue. You're more likely to be able to get a job and keep that job if you have that higher level of education.
And I would say that that's pretty important, especially when we just went through what we went through the last 2 years and are still going through with every other variation in the whole fucking world. But I mean, it makes sense to have some sort of stability where you can maneuver if you have to.
Exactly right. You can do lateral shifts if you have to, or up or down, depending upon your job.
I'd agree. Pro number 3 is that you do get some more interaction with people. I think some like-minded people, depending on where you go and how you see the world. And I do like that idea because even from my perspective, my master's classes specifically, is that I got to meet people who were going on the same path I was when I wanted to be a college AD, and they really did help me. I mean, my teachers were extremely good. My professor, Dr. Hart, who kind of saw over us, he had been in the game for a while. He was able to kind of bounce those ideas off each other to where we were allowed to kind of think on our own. So I would say that that's definitely a pro.
Cool. Yeah, getting yourself in the same room as like-minded individuals or people that honestly are probably smarter than you is probably your best bet to grow and to gain more knowledge. So I agree with that. And then the more that you are around more people, the more likely you are to network and to potentially grow yourself and your business and your job or whatever after you graduate, because you have more connections in the community and people nearby. So that's huge too. Is networking in college, I feel like is unparalleled elsewhere.
Yeah, even if you're living in the dorms and you meet several people, and I understand, they're drunk all the time, blah, blah, blah. I don't disagree with that, but I will say is that you meet several people that you don't know when you're going to run into them, whose boss knows who, or whatever it could be. You're just meeting more people that have a very similar goal that you have.
Exactly right. Our next step for the pros is personal growth. If you want to develop personal growth or you're interested in finances and you want to go take some night class for finances, or you're like, you know what, I really want to go back to school and be an accountant or a physical therapist or whatever. Maybe that's your next step in your career. You went to actually one of our PT assistants that I work with. He worked hard construction labor stuff for a long time. He was a personal trainer. He's like, screw this. This is too hard and challenging on my body. I'm not going to do this much longer. So he went back to physical therapy assistant school, and that's what he does now. So kind of cool.
I think one of the pros too is going to be like a fallback plan. You at least have something to fall back on if this germ comes in the world and starts killing a bunch of people. If that happens, no one knows what's going to happen. No one knows who's going to be, still kicking and running as far as your businesses go, and things like that. So it is definitely feels a little bit better that I do have a degree. I own my own business. I don't even technically use my degrees, but if shit were to hit the fan, I could find something I think pretty quick.
Sure, I agree.
Marketability wise. So that is something that makes you feel a little bit better. So one of the last pros we have, being from Iowa, we have like a top 5 party school in the world every year.
University of Iowa is #1, but it's a ranking the school is not so proud of.
The Princeton Review says Iowa is the #1 party school in the nation.
Come on, if you go straight to like welding school, or you go straight to some what do they call them,
trade school,
dipshit.
Yep.
Idiot! Oh, what a loser!
Trade school, you're telling me you don't like to party? I mean, come on, you like to party.
Yeah, you can't beat
the party
it.
scene's awesome.
Yeah, you can't beat literally having nothing else in the world to worry about. In the dorms,
Yes.
you just go to the parties, you stumble home, everyone goes in a group, everyone's safe, whatever. You can't beat that.
Well, another
in the real
pro, you
world.
make some of your best friends ever there. How many
Exactly.
college roommates, whatever, do you have in your wedding? How many, I mean, think about you alone.
I actually met majority of my best friends from Ambrose. The first few weeks that we were there, we had fake
Yep.
IDs and we bought all of their beer, and they turned out being our best friends.
Absolutely. and I mean, that's sometimes how it happens. So being able to network with those type of people and make those type of friends and just kind of enjoy 4 years, I mean, it is a pro. I'm going to be honest. It is a pro.
For sure.
All right, guys. So now we're going to switch a little bit of gears, and we're going to go to the pros for not going to college. Now, here was something that me and Joe were like, we went to college. We spent all this money. Is there really that many pros to not going? And I'm like, after I'm adding it up, I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah, it got longer and longer than when we talked.
There are some pros to not going.
Yeah, for sure.
So we need to really look into this. All right, so the first one is pretty obvious, and not in any order, but you don't really have much debt.
Yeah.
Or you have little debt, or you have no debt. And that is huge. So right now we've got some numbers for you. The average 4-year degree takes 20 years to pay off. 20 years. Average 20 years. And I'm falling into that average right now.
Yeah.
I'm not
that's
even going to lie to
insane.
you. Are you?
Oh, yeah, for sure. As a physical therapist, I'm just going to throw this out there. Some of my numbers that I kind of want to talk about too. When I graduated from St. Ambrose, which, I had academic scholarship, I had baseball scholarship, but I came out of PT school with about $85,000 in debt. My monthly payment was about $923 a month. That is fucking ridiculous.
That's my house payment.
That was
When
for
I had
a
a house.
10-year plan.
house payment.
That's just not feasible for people. So clearly I had to adjust that, and kind of change things around. But that's insane.
It's insane. And the next note we have is an average professional degree, which he obviously has, 45 years to pay off.
45 years.
Some people take 45 years plus.
That's the average.
You're dead. You're dead by then. I mean, holy shit. You're paying off your student loans still.
Right. That's like when you retire, maybe.
I mean, that's crazy.
It's insane.
That's wild. So, and also, just a little tidbit, 21% of loans actually get bigger over the first 5 years because they're gaining so much interest.
Yeah.
That's freaking nuts. So
Not
you
good.
only borrow this much, and it is still getting bigger after 5 years of getting out.
I actually calculated it. So had I paid just like that minimal amount, I would have paid closer to about $118,000 instead of $85,000.
Instead of 85?
Yeah, because of interest.
That's a whole nother year of working.
That's a shit ton.
Oh
Yes,
my gosh.
exactly.
So I would definitely say the debt is a pro to not going.
Yeah, and
That's for sure.
the average cost of tuition over the last 20 years, I was looking up some numbers. So It averages out to about 170% increase over the last 20 years. Yeah.
170?
170% increase
God.
of just college tuition. So that is just drastically going up. And
You didn't get 170% raise this year? No?
I wish.
Wow.
That is not how it works. And so that's definitely
Not how it works in my business.
a con to going to college, but a pro for not to going to college. You know, it's the information is there out there, people. So we just want to bring it to the light.
Another pro to not going to college is pretty simple. You can start making money at 18 right away. I will say, I got to throw in a little con here for the not going to college, is that at 18 you're pretty young and you don't really think about, you buy some stupid things. You might go buy your first truck and you got this ridiculous truck payment that you just avoided a college, tuition payment or whatever, but now you got this ridiculous whatever payment. But that is definitely a pro, is that you can start making good money right away. I was in a vocational welding program that was at West High School. Phenomenal. I mean, these guys around me were way better welders than me, and they could get out making $25-30 an hour right away.
It's pretty impressive for an 18-year-old.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, I didn't want to get that shit dripping on me all the time and getting burnt. Yeah, I mean, seriously, though, they can make some serious money, and I guarantee you they make way more money than I do right now.
Yeah.
And they're the ones getting called stupid.
And they don't have debt.
They have no debt either.
So they're making more money, and they don't have debt to pay into that money, so the money is just going right into their pocket or to their truck.
And they have a nice truck.
Exactly.
You know? So yeah, you guys are smart.
One cool thing that we did want to talk about, Elon Musk. Dude is super rich. Like, one of the richest people ever to even think about riches, right? One of the tweets that he just recently put out is actually, I don't care if you ever graduated high school.
College, which university?
No, there's no need even to have a college degree at all, or even high school. I mean, if somebody graduated from a great university, that may be an indication that they will be capable of great things, but it's not necessarily the case.
I care about your work ethic is kind of what he's getting into. I care about how hard you're just going to grind to basically make him more money or to make yourself more money. I mean, that's honestly the more important part. It doesn't really matter if you have this piece of paper that said, I graduated.
No.
Who cares?
Yeah, he clearly does not care. And he's going to put you through tests to where you're their kind of person, you're their kind of girl, or you're their kind of guy, you're their kind of employee. But, that's pretty awesome.
It is pretty cool.
Yeah. Another pro that I felt to not going to college is something that I felt in just a few of my classes, and some of them, not all of them, but some of them, is that the professors really want you to think the way they want you to think. And I have a problem with that. I went to college to learn more, to think on the way that I want to think. I'm not saying that they shouldn't tell you how they think, but they should be opening up your mind to say, hey, this is a possibility, and hey, this is a possibility. And I'm not getting into red and blue and all that bullshit. I'm just saying that I really didn't like it when I got funneled one way or the other. I want you to give me ideas and give me propositions that could further my career, but not saying, oh, if the test question's this, because I said this in class, you better reiterate it to me. It's like, no, that's not what I do. So half of my professors, needless to say, hated me. They did. Because I was that asshole being like, that don't make any sense. No.
But typically, I've found that those are the people that butt heads with the existing ideas of things that are the ones that change the world and kind of change things into a better society or a better position for everyone else, because they don't just follow the crowd or follow the sheep, I guess, if you want to say, but they think for themselves, and then they think, okay, well, how can I make this better, instead of just, okay, cool, let's keep doing this thing.
Agree. Well, and I think that's maybe even it's a pro of college too, because you do get some professors who are like, you know what, Joe, I want you to think the way you want to think. I want you to go out and be, the best version of you, versus, you know what, you're going to think the way I think because this is how it goes here. It's like, no, and you're going to get graded on a test because you don't think the way I think. It's crazy.
It is.
It's crazy. And I think one more pro to not going to college is that you're kind of on your own a little bit. It kind of teaches you a little bit of grit. I mean, your stepdad.
Yeah, the dude,
phenomenal story.
I mean, started out as basically just a driver for FedEx, right? Just had a bunch of routes, working 60, 70-hour weeks, just absolute
no degree,
grinding.
right?
No degree. No degree.
Okay.
Went to college for a little bit for just basically to party, and then, started his own kind of career of just being a FedEx driver. Grinded, 20 years away, whatever, and then all of a sudden stuff kind of started piling up and falling into his lap because he set himself up so beautifully that he just worked his ass off and then was able to grow his business for himself. And so, that's kind of what you have to do. If your back's up against the wall and it's like, well, I got to figure out how to eat, so I got this
Let's
little
go, baby.
shark thing and I got a fish over there. I'm going to kill this motherfucker and eat.
Yeah,
let's go.
I love it. I mean, you're an uncaged lion. Like, I got to go. It's the same thing with my partner here, Colton O'Day's dad. I mean, no, I don't think very little or no education. He bought this failing company, and now it's just like blown up because
Super successful.
he's putting in 100-hour weeks when people are. I mean, he's waking up at 3:30 in the morning to do stuff people would never do. He's taking shit out of people's toilets. I mean, it's like
Someone's got to do the work.
That is what I'm talking about.
This man's got to do the work.
You're
and he
telling
wants
me.
to do the
You're
work.
telling me that's not a bad motherfucker. That's a bad dude right there.
For sure.
I'd say that's definitely a pro to not going to college.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, we probably need to chat a little bit about what's in the middle.
So the other thing we do have to talk about is it goes around all the time. You always hear about it. Should college be free? Right? What do you think? Do you think college should be free, Colin?
You know what? No, I really don't think so at all.
Why?
I took out my student loans, my $41,000 that I have on my own because I thought it was going to further my career and I could pay it back. And that was something I decided to do. That's the bottom line. I need to pay it back. I need to figure it out. I don't want the debt, don't get me wrong.
Right.
But it's my choice. It was my idea. I mean, no, I don't want anybody to pay my loans back. I want to pay them back.
Oh, yeah,
because I took them out.
For sure. You should
What about
pay
you?
them back
You're
because
double
you
in debt
took
to
it
that.
out. Yeah, exactly right. I mean, you should have to
the
pay
hell?
this back, unfortunately, because you did this to grow your career and to grow yourself. And the thing with, if college was free, if you just said, hey, I want to go to St. Ambrose or I want to go to University of Iowa or wherever, and you just walk in the door, the level of the education that you're going to get, unfortunately, is going to have to drop. Because
Teachers are going to get paid less.
Yeah, teachers are going to get paid
Absolutely.
less. I mean, I like to relate it back to, I guess, of a CrossFit gym, for example. If you said, hey, anyone can come on in, you'd have bums on the side of the road coming in and just making shit dirty and using all your stuff.
Well, here's a great stat for you. I have given away in the last 6 years 27 free 6-month memberships to charities and other things like that, and I've given away a few more. 27.
They still here?
I have had one person, one human being stay all 6 months. I have had 3 returned.
Yeah.
This is no joke. I have given away 27 free ones. I have had one person stay for the 6 months. I have had 3 people even come in to use it.
That's an impressive statistic. And so now if we zip back over to the college side of it, if you have every motherfucker walking through a college door, I mean, A, you're going to get shitty teaching or shitty coaching from your CrossFit gym
100%.
if you want to play through it.
100%.
And then, you're going to get a poor education. No one's going to take it seriously. You're just going to be there to party and then whatever and then never get a job because of it. I mean, you can't realistically do it.
The value of your degree goes way down.
Right.
It's just a high school education at that point.
Everyone has it. I mean, how do you differentiate someone who
And now,
has...
I will say, people start at different levels.
Right.
There's people's parents out there that grinded, that got a bunch of money. There's nothing you can do about it. Not everybody starts the same. And I think programs are getting better as far as are improving on getting some of those communities help and those people that need the help more help. I agree, because I got no help on my loans whatsoever.
Yeah.
0. Did you?
Yeah. FAFSA-wise,
baseball,
a little bit of academic scholarship, a little bit of
But
baseball scholarship.
stuff you worked for to get it.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't like, you're Joe Persani, you live at this address, you make this amount of income, we're going to give you just a shit ton of money. Like, no, it didn't work like that.
No, and I think some of those people do need help, and they maybe need that little bit of but there's going to be no perfect way to help. It's never going to happen.
Can't do it.
Just giving out free college. I really think the people who are still going to go to college, who have all this money, are still going to just get free college, and they're still going to be getting other jobs.
Right.
And there's an argument to be said, and I'm sure the comments will blow up on and over it, but that's just the way I feel.
Yeah, I personally don't think that there's really anything that's free in this world. I mean, it has to be paid back somewhere.
It does.
You think about the child tax credit going on right now.
Yeah.
Oh, it's our free money. Well, no, because now later for tax time, there's repercussions for that.
Well, and how
Always
about,
is.
and so if you do, and the taxes go up and you got to pay it, why should these people, these badass welders in my class that went and got their welding degree and are making all this money, why in the hell should they have to pay for my college degree?
Right. Yeah.
These dudes decided not to go. These girls decided not to go, and they're working their butt off. Why should they have to pay for anything that I've ever done?
Yeah.
That's
Well,
not fair.
That's a different mindset that a lot of people
It's
don't
wild
have.
to me.
They
It's
think, so
wild.
a lot of people like to think, well,
wild.
I did it, okay, so you should pay for it because I deserve it. Well,
Yeah, I just
I
don't
don't know
know
if I
about
agree with
that.
that.
I just don't know about that. And we're both people with major college debt. This dude's got $900 a month.
yep,
I mean, and
Is
we
what it
still.
is.
I mean, you decided to do it.
that I did.
Anyways, that's our thought there. All right, guys, we've went through a lot of pros for both. Honestly, I didn't know where this discussion was going to go. Joe actually texted me this topic a couple days ago, and we've been researching it, and this has gotten me more in
good
my
one.
mind in a pretzel than I thought. So I'm just going to ask you, Joe.
Yeah.
What do you think? Your kids, your whomever. What are you saying? Go to college? Are you saying not go to college? What are you saying?
Okay, with all of the raw data and information we just talked about, I'm gonna have to still say go to college. I really do think that your life, even though you're gonna have to suffer a little bit with student loan debts and things like that potentially, that kind of puts you in a little bit of a hole. I personally feel like if you really want to build yourself up, you have to get that higher level of education. Networking is huge. I personally think it's not really about what you know, it's about who you know a lot of times.
Yeah.
And I think that for me personally, my personal experience, I would definitely go back to college again. Not just for the partying, which is awesome, of course, but for all the other pros that we had talked about. So I'm going to go yes for college. Well, we got to ask you, Mr. Carty, what do you think?
Man, I am
Pro.
I'm so messed up right now. Honestly, I'm gonna sit on the fence. I'm gonna say it depends. It depends who you are. If you're a person that doesn't know what they want to do, I am not gonna tell you to go to St. Ambrose and pay $30,000 a year. I can't do it. Go to Scott, the community college around our town, and go pay whatever it is, and you can at least kind of see what you want to do. But if you're undecided, I can't tell you to go to college. I just can't. I can't be like, oh, just go get your degree and do. You can make more money now by not getting them. And if we're really going to start even thinking about paying for college, the college degree doesn't even matter anymore if that's what it's going to be, if it's going to be free. So I'm going to sit on the fence. I'm going to be that person that doesn't give a good answer, but it depends who it is for me.
Yep.
If I'm going to tell them it's a good idea or if it's not a good idea. If you want to be a doctor and you always wanted to be a doctor and you want to be a physical therapist, then I'm going to say you better get your ass to college.
Yeah.
And if you want to be a CrossFit gym owner, I'm going to say it helped me a lot. I'm not going to get into it, but it helped me a lot. But you don't need it.
Yep, it depends, I guess, for you, for sure.
Depends.
Yeah.
You don't need it.
Fantastic answer. Well, we want to hear what you guys have to say. So if you went to college, let us know why you did, or would you do it again? If you didn't and you're making a shit ton of money being a welder or a farmer or something like that, you got to hit us up. You got to let us know what you think about this conversation here. I'm sure there's something that probably struck a nerve. Either way, like the video. You got to subscribe to our channel, and we'll catch you next time.
Hey, I got those flatbreads for pizza in the fridge. I got a bunch of groceries in the fridge.
You're just gonna have to bring them with you.